Hello, crypto people. Joey here from the Chart Guys. I've been a full-time trader for 7 years, learning under Dan for 6 of them, and I'm here to talk about some Bitcoin. And let's just hop right into it. We got the bulls showing up here today. Well, actually, before we hop into it, I just want to put out a disclaimer. I just got out of the shower. I'm not a total grease ball. I know everybody's been analyzing my appearance lately, so I gotta put the disclaimer out there. It's wet. It's wet and it'll probably curl up throughout the stream, but let's get into some charts. So Bitcoin, we know we're watching this falling wedge. We know we're looking for a monthly high or low. We know it is not uncommon to see a daily falling wedge lead to a monthly high or low. We know that relationship is not uncommon, and we're seeing it play out right now in the metal space with the 4-hour falling wedges leading to weekly higher lows. We've got gold going for it right now, and we have silver that has already gotten it done, stronger than gold. So looking for essentially that same fractal relationship to play out on Bitcoin. Where do we go? Oh, that's my Coinbase chart that the wedge is on. Let's get back to that. So looking for the same thing on Bitcoin here with a daily falling wedge leading to a quick monthly high or low, which we do need to remember, and I'll put this caveat in there until the monthly high or low is set. Historically, coming off of all-time highs, when we break the monthly stair step, the average follow through is 32%, and that's with taking out a serious outlier of 80%. And right now we're like 4.5% into it. So if we do get the monthly high or low set from here, it'll be the quickest monthly high or low in history. And if it's going to shape up from here, the next step for bulls is to confirm a daily uptrend. So they're showing up just in time here. They certainly have more work to be done because, one, we don't have our daily high or low set, and two, they're going to need to confirm a 4-hour uptrend from here. So this is the first little sign that we've had over the last few days of the daily high or low. And why I say they're showing up just in time is because if we pull our fib here, we're right at the 0.5 retrace. And if we pull back beyond the 0.5 retrace, that decreases the odds that bulls can get that daily trend change. So in a crucial spot, bulls showing up, but what's the next step for what they have to do? They need to confirm a 4-hour uptrend. So that would mean holding the low here of 60.6K once we top out on the 4-hour, and then going back and breaking the bounce high. That would get the daily high or low set. That's the first step for what we need. And then the next step is to essentially do that same thing on the daily. Hold the low here ultimately of 56.50 and then go back up and break 56 or 65.5. What did I say? 56.50? I'm at 56.5K, and we need to go back up and break 65.5K. Like that, that'd be our daily uptrend, and ultimately would be continued holding of the weekly 12 EMA, which we know is our bigger picture guide here. So that's what bulls are looking for, and we just got to go one step at a time. So in the short term here, we've got bears potentially trying to confirm a 15-minute downtrend, which would be our first sign of a 4-hour consolidation shaping up, but we've got bulls playing some defense. So if bulls can get back through 62.2K, that's going to keep the 4-hour bounce alive. But what would that be? That would be a quick hourly high or low shaping up. And we've got a little hourly uptrend that we can be using within this 4-hour move. So that's pretty much it with Bitcoin. We got bulls showing up. They've got more work to do, and their backs, I don't want to say their backs are against the wall because, like, I don't know, are their backs against the wall? Not really, but it's all time frame dependent. And on the monthly time frame, their backs are against the wall, and they're trying to shape up a quick high or low. So that's what we've got going on with Bitcoin here. Another element at play that does make this a key location, and I don't know that we talked about it on the last public stream, but definitely talked about it on the Chart Guys members stream yesterday, and Lamont has been talking about it as well. We've got this key balance area from back here in October and November 2021, and it's been quite reactive as we've come down through it. And this is bulls trying to hold that POC. The purple line is the POC, which is the area. So with volume profile, you know, typical volume that we're looking at, like at the bottom of the chart, that is volume over time. Volume profile works off of the y-axis, and that is volume by price. And the POC, which is the point of control, is the price where the most volume has been traded. And you will see that come into play and be very reactive often, as we've seen here. Multiple holds of it, break down below, unable to find acceptance, come back up, reject from the value area high, and now we're at that POC. So it's an important spot on multiple fronts because we have our POC and our 50% retrace stacked right in with each other. And lo and behold, bulls are trying from there, but more work to be done. So that's Bitcoin. Let's move through. I'm going to kind of keep the show on the road because I got a list of alts that we got to talk about because we're seeing some alts pop. And once you start to see some alts pop, that's when you look around and say, all right, who's next? And we've actually got beautiful clarity for it with a bunch of BTC ratio charts that are tight. And when they get tight like that, it creates a lot of clarity and can give us a quick heads up that, all right, we've got our next coin that's catching some rotation. So yeah, big old list. So we'll cruise through here. So looking at ETH, it's weaker. It's pulled back beyond the 50% retrace. We have got the same falling wedge that we're watching on Bitcoin. And it's not to say that bulls can't get back up and through 32.21, but their task is much more difficult now due to the retracement size. So we would look for a daily lower high compared to that level unless we see increasing bull volume on the way up. And another thing that could help with that is if ETH BTC gets its act together in some fashion. We know that we've seen strong spikes, but no weekly uptrends. And we don't really have reason to believe that bulls could pull off a weekly uptrend from here. But if we were to get even just a weekly higher low set, then that would increase the odds that ETH could actually go back up and break this resistance. So as far as the smaller time frames, it's going to be decently similar to Bitcoin. We do already have our 4-hour uptrend, but you got to break the daily stair step to get that daily higher low set. And we're still just battling this 4-hour 12 EMA. It's one thing to pop over, but you want to close over, which actually, let's look at Bitcoin. Yeah, so Bitcoin did get the close over marginally, but ETH just, it continues to be weak. There will be a time where ETH is back in the limelight, and it's likely going to be on the heels of an ETH BTC weekly uptrend, which we're just not seeing. So looking at LTC, just a 2-day tightening range, getting tight. And if you look around the alt space, there's a decent number of coins that are starting to get tight. So nothing really changes on LTC until we break out of this range. So resistance, first resistance overhead is 84.23, and support, we've got low of this 2-day candle at 79.31, and then after that we got 74.53. But I'm not going to talk about it too much. Is while we're in here, if we start breaking resistances, then that's when LTC would come back on the map. And ultimately, if we break this to the upside, that's a monthly higher low trying to shape up. If we break it to the downside, that is our quarterly lower high trying to shape up, though still almost 2 months left on the quarterly candle, so not going to fret about that time frame too much at this point. Let's see what LTC BTC is doing. So LTC BTC, all about weekly 12 EMA. This is what would bring LTC USD back on the map, really, is if LTC BTC can break 1397. So keep an eyes on that. Not much follow through after setting the weekly lower high from bears, so keep an eyes on it, but burden of proof on bulls. So let's talk about our poppers first. So AIOZ, we've been talking about it in every stream, talking about the bottom fish opportunities back in here, and bulls that took that have been lavishly rewarded at this point. We have got not a daily stair step. I guess you could call it a daily uptrend, but probably 12 hours better. Yeah. We'll do 12-hour uptrend as our guide on AIOZ for full bull control. Weekly higher low is set off the 12 EMA, which is our bigger picture guide, and this is a blue sky bull. So got to keep eyes on it. Key resistance going to be 108, and that 12-hour uptrend is going to be our guide. RNDR is popping, and there are a lot of coins that have this look where it's just the sideways tightening range, and once RNDR got its pop, we've seen nice follow through. Just off of the resistance break is almost 17%. Got a daily uptrend as our guide. Daily higher low support is 941. And let's zoom in a little bit. A 4-hour uptrend within that. So let's see who could pop. Sol is decently similar look. If we look at this, And then we look at what RNDR is doing right now. Those are pretty similar coins. So last stream, this actually worked out quite nice. Last stream we talked about kind of the pros and cons of a SOL topfish as a hedge. And we said that, and when I say we, I mean me and all of my alternate personalities. We said that if this was going to be a good topfish, we needed to see SOL BTC not see follow through on its resistance break. Because from here, we were all like, oh, SOL's looking great. SOL's looking great. Once we broke resistance, all right, SOL's looking great. Maybe we need to be cautious on shorting SOL. But if we were not to see follow through, then SOL would be a good short. And that's what we ended up getting. So at this point, though, bull's certainly looking for a daily higher low. And it's going to be a similar deal to everybody else. We do have our 4-hour uptrend. Got to break the daily stair step to get that higher low set. And bulls are looking to be one of the next ones to break out here. So if this is going to be one of the next ones to break out, we do want to see SOL BTC not lose its daily higher low support. So bulls are defending it right now. And you want to see SOL BTC ultimately get back up through those highs and keep the show on the road. So RNDR, AIOZ, I guess we'll get right to TRB for now, because talking about coins popping, TRB's been on an absolute tear, 237%. That is a monthly higher low being set. We'll be looking for a monthly lower high, but bulls are in control and it's very volatile. And we've got a lot of clarity. So 4-hour, 12 EMA guide. And again, these EMA guides, they offer opportunity for both bulls and bears. If you want to be a bull, you can just keep buying off the 12 EMA and make plays off that. If you want to be a bear, you wait till that EMA is lost, and then that's when the shift is on. So we'll certainly be looking for daily higher low. Backburners will be on deck after the size of this move. And that is that. Let's see what else we got before we get into the big old list. Pepe continuing to be strong, daily higher low set off of 12 EMA. And now the question is, can bulls confirm the daily uptrend by getting up and through 918, which is a double top with back here, to ultimately just have us looking at all-time highs? So again, always coins within close proximity of all-time highs are going to be worth watching, because when you don't have resistance overhead, it is a lot easier to move. It's a lot easier to move, especially, that's something that is true to all markets, but it's especially true in crypto. Things can just get nutty in crypto. So we got Pepe. What else was on the mental list? I think that's it for the mental list. Let's go in and look at these ratios. And I see someone in here has requested Rune, and that is it's perfect timing, because Rune is the example of what we want to see on these other ratio charts. So we'll just work from my watch list here. So again, if y'all don't have a BTC ratio watch list, I highly recommend you get one going, because even if you don't have the full tool in your tool bag of kind of like the dynamic usage of combining the TA on the ratio charts with the TA on the USD pairings, you can simply just sort it by gain on the day and see who are our lead bulls, who are our lead bears. We've got Rune as a lead bull here today. Let's zoom into the daily. We had a very tight range on Rune BTC, and then it broke out, and that has Rune USD being a lead bull. So I actually haven't even looked at Rune USD. I've just been watching the ratios. Let's see what that's doing. So that's ultimately another alt that had the sideways daily tightening range that is breaking bull on that. So as for our similar tight BTC pairs, we've got Ape BTC, and I know Ape's a turd, but that's a tight BTC pairing. And if this breaks to the upside, then Ape USD will be on the map. We've got AAVE BTC. Oh, come on. AAVE BTC, very tight here. And AAVE USD is actually similarly tight. So I'm going to fly through these because there's a lot to talk about. But, whether you go back to the stream and write them down or what, I would do that, or write them down right now. These tightening ranges, they're starting to pop. AIOZ, RNDR, maybe Sol's going to be next. We've got Rune that is now popped. Once they start popping, that's when you look for others to follow. And the nice thing is with these BTC pairings being so tight, that can give us a clue. If the BTC pairing pops before the USD pairing, that can tell you that, all right, I'm going to try to get in on a 15-minute higher low or something like generally a bit more aggressive, but you have the BTC pairing backing you in doing that. So what else we got? LRC. I know some of these are like Dino coins or whatever, but they still trade very tight on LRC. BTC Link, that's one people might like more. Very tight BTC pairing. If Link BTC breaks out of this range, then Link USD is likely to break out of its range. We just got a big old daily EQ. Got bulls getting the daily higher low set. So just watching to see, are these all going to pop? Algo BTC, another one, very tight here. If that pops, then Algo is going to be on the menu. ZRX BTC, oh, almost clicked the wrong one. Very tight, daily 12 EMA resistance. If bulls get up and over here, ZRX is going to be back on the menu. We know last time it was on the menu, it was quite nice. Not saying to anticipate something like that, but what would it be? Was it just a weekly higher low trying to shape up? Weekly stair step straight off the top after that big pump. Even if we get a weak bounce, that can be 30%. So, and I'm assuming ZRX USD is pretty similar. Yeah, not quite a weekly stair step, but tightening up at the lows here. Daily EQ, daily 12 EMA resistance. So many coins with this same structure. And the nice thing is we have them in like different phases of it. Like there's some coins where we're looking for a daily higher low within the tightening range. And there's some coins where we are close to resistance and looking to bust. So like if we look at SHIB, daily tightening range, and now's the time to be positioning for a daily higher low. It's technically set, but 4-hour higher low, most likely next bounce. Who else we got? Bonk is actually very similar. Bonk, daily higher low, set. Bulls looking for a 4-hour higher low, next consolidation. And another one where not too far from all-time highs in the scheme of things for how volatile these meme coins can be. This is a bit of a different structure, but Pendle, a blue sky bull or one close to it, is looking for a daily higher low. We have relative weakness on the day, but looking for a daily higher low. We've got 4-hour 12 EMA resistance. If bulls get up and over 4-hour 12 EMA, then that is what is going to shape up the daily higher low. So you've got these coins where you can be bottom fishing right now, where you have the optimal risk to reward. And then you have coins like Sol that are knocking up on resistance and getting ready to go. So what else we got? Just general tightening names. So ADA USDT. Go to the daily. That is a tight daily EQ. When it breaks, we can anticipate volatility. Theta, tight range. You'll notice a lot of these coins look very similar. AAVE we already talked about. AXS, tight range. When these break, there will be volatility. Link already talked about it. FIL, tight. Looking for the daily higher low. It's technically set, but when you're down, when you have sideways ranges, when you're at the highs, you look short. When you're at the lows, you look long. And we're at the lows on a lot of these. So it's the time to be scouting these entries. Uni getting very tight. Sushi getting very tight. Or Sushi's trying to break a bull. Let's see what Sushi BTC is doing. So Sushi BTC's actually had relative strength. It didn't actually tighten up sideways like the other ones. But Sushi USD now finally coming along board with it. CRV, I feel like we already looked at that, didn't we? Very tight. Very tight and closer to resistance here. Closer to resistance than a lot of these other ones. What else we got? APT. Man, APT was hot for a while, and now it's not. But what do we have? Is this a quarterly EQ? Let's get some structure here. No, just look at it on the monthly. low, high, higher low, lower high. Is this little daily EQ, if it breaks bull, is that going to be our monthly, the monthly higher low getting set from there? There will be more work to be done. You got to regain a weekly uptrend. But so much of trading is just risk and reward. You got to have a little bit of an imagination. You got to have some type of edge, some type of structure to what you're doing. And then you set up optimal risk to reward scenarios. We never know which one's going to break out, which one's gonna see the 200% move, which one's just gonna like break resistance and come back down. You never know that. We can't control that. That's up to the market. But what we can control is our risk and our reward and where we're looking to position. So right now, with the potential that Bitcoin could confirm a daily uptrend, break out of a daily falling wedge for a quick monthly higher low, if that happens, then all of these ranges are probably breaking to the upside. So, and you don't gotta fully commit where you're just like buy in, and if it doesn't break to the upside, you lose. You position now, you get a daily bounce up, you chop some, you get a risk-free stop, and then if it does what AIOZ did or what Rune did, then you've got your tickets for the show. And that's trading in a nutshell. And anybody who tries to pretend that they know what's going to happen or they've got a magic 8-ball or this or that, they're probably more of a con artist than a professional trader. But among professional traders, it's all about risk to reward. It's about a little bit of imagination. You got to dream a little bit, and it pays to dream in the crypto space just because the rewards can be so lavish. Like if you're dreaming on gold, I don't know what, gold goes bonkers and moves 20%. AIOZ is probably up 70% off of the lows at this point, 61% off of the lows. So, and I don't mean to bag gold. I'm primarily a commodities trader, but I'm leveraging to the whats via the futures market. So I don't care if it moves 5 ticks, because leverage is in there. But like if you're playing GLD, I think you should reevaluate your life unless it's in an IRA or you're using options. That was really harsh, but I don't know. A big day for gold is 1.5%. It's just tough to want to dedicate the capital and the bandwidth to something like that unless it's like a fundamentally based diversification or something like that. And again, I love gold. It's one of my the most volume instruments that I've ever traded. So I love gold, but the futures market is the way to do it if you're going to do that. So let's see. I think that's all I'm really looking at right now. Oh, we'll talk about some of these blue sky bulls. BNB, we can't sleep on that. This is a daily tightening range, but what makes it different from everybody else is that it's like up at the highs and right below all-time highs. So now, hopefully if anybody had interest in BNB, they were looking at the bottom fish of the range when we were talking about it back there, rather than right now when we're up at the top of the range and risk to reward is not as favorable. Let's see, FET, another just daily EQ. We know that we are up at all-time highs, monthly and sidebar. Bulls, okay. Does this look any different from AIOZ on the weekly? Not really. It's pretty dang similar. So I think there's reason to be interested in bottom fishes of these ranges. Obviously it's a big range. You can't just enter there and put your stop there. I mean, you can, but you're then at that point banking on the bull break for your risk to reward to be favorable. But what you can do is say, all right, well, we've got a 4-hour uptrend now. I'm going to look to make an entry on a pullback, put my stop below the low there, and then your risk to reward is pretty good. Say you get in something like that, you look for that. You don't even really need to go to new highs to get your 1-to-1, chop, get risk-free, and then let the market gods do as they please. JUP, same deal, much closer to resistance. JUP is a little more similar to SOL, where we had the double top, and then now we've got bulls trying for a daily higher low quickly. Yeah, that's almost the same chart. It's almost the same chart. All right, that's all I'm looking at. Let's see what y'all are looking at. Got DP getting timed out by the Nightbot. Let's see what kind of smut he was spewing. He said, hey, y'all. despicable. Looking clean, despicable, dude. Daily falling wedge for monthly high or low. How dare you talk Texan here? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I gotta tune the Nightbot settings. It's only like the overzealous, excited people who get timed out, and those are the people I love. So thanks for the energy, DP. I'm sorry, the Nightbot is a stick in the mud. All right, we already looked at Rune. What up, Super No Worries? Rachel Rhodes. Thanks for tuning into the live. Lizard in the Lights. Kuji. What's the latest on Kuji? It's struggling. It really, that it was the darling for a while. And shout out to Ryan V from the Chart Guys chat room. He was all over this Kuji move. He was talking about it like down in here or something. What does Kuji got to do to come back to life? So monthly consolidation is already unhealthy. We'll be looking for a lower high, but we're looking for a quarterly high or low. We don't have to give up on it. Pretty much a weekly stair step. It's popped by a skosh, maybe like a 2-day 12 EMA rider. Yeah, 2-day 12 EMA rider. So with these things, with the coins that are showing relative weakness, I tend to like to wait for them to show a little strength and then fish a higher low, because it's like a bandwidth thing. I mean, you can be trying to nail a bottom on Kuji here, but there's not really much indication. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen. But I'd rather save the mental bandwidth, focus on something that is giving us signs that it's a better place for our money in the here and now, and wait for something like Kuji to get over 2-day 12 EMA. Get that signal to say, hey, it could be go time. Then you fish the higher low and look for the trend change. So that's the Kuji dealio. Let's see, Ryan Smith. Been in the space since early 2020, and only since I discovered Chart Guys do I actually feel like I know how to understand the charts. The emphasis on different time frames and EMAs and RSIs has been beneficial since we started the macro uptrend in October and November. That's what's up, dude. Happy to hear that. That's why we do what we do. So, and on that note, for anybody else who's kind of like, what's this guy talking about? Let me pull up our, actually I'm going to pull it up somewhere else. I've got a webinar playlist that pretty much is everything you need to know for the game. That was my objective when I was making these webinars, was to have it just be kind of a one-stop shop. Obviously, there's a lot of nuance to the game, but I'm going to post the playlist here in chat, and you want to go through them in order, and you don't want to move on to the second one until you have the concepts of the first one down, because you won't be able to use the stuff from the second one if you don't have the first one down. You won't be able to use the stuff from the third one if you don't have the second one down, so on and so forth. But check out that playlist. Really anybody, whether you got it down or not. Trend Spider, what up? I'm assuming that's not the Trend Spider, but if it is, what an honor. Yeah, Pepe's been looking good, Jason R. We've been talking about it in all of these streams. It's been showing us basically once it V-shaped off of the lows, we were like, okay, Pepe means business, because at this point, many other coins are still going sideways. And then we confirmed the daily downtrend. It was like, all right, maybe weekly lower highs shaping up. But then after the second V-shape, we said, wow, Pepe means business. And then now on a day like today, where we've got some coins setting daily higher lows, but most are not. Bitcoin's not. It's trying to, but you got Pepe, up 10%, 13% off of its daily higher low that's now set. So Pepe, it's so funny. Only in crypto can some coin that is purely a meme be like the one to be trading. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. A Dill, glad you made the stream as well. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, Rob, I completely agree. So Rob says it feels like this whole BTC range has been bulls failing to get a trend change, and it has. We haven't had a daily uptrend since the end of March. We had a little daily uptrend here, and then once we lost it, we've had nice moves, but inability to get the uptrend. Increasing bear volume on the way down, going to lower lows. Nice move, inability to get the uptrend. Increasing bear volume on the way down, and going to lower lows. So we did not have increasing bear volume on the way down here, and bulls like to see that. Though it does look like yesterday we did end up getting a little pop. I don't think that was on Coinbase though. I thought I saw one of these charts. It was nice, beautiful decreasing. Yeah, Coinbase a little clearer with that. But yeah, everything that we talked about last stream pretty much playing out now, because last stream, remember, that was Monday, and we were like, all right, looks like daily consolidation shaping up. Bears got to confirm the 4-hour downtrend. You know, we were talking, what, like right here. So it's ended up playing out nice, and now we're looking for the next step of it. Looks like maybe we do have bulls setting that hourly higher low. They're trying, testing resistance. Got to break 62.2K to get that done, and then we're looking up at the top of the bounce, 62,678. So bulls have created enough room for a 4-hour higher low next consolidation, but it's always the case that the more bounce you can get, the greater your odds are of getting that higher low and trend change. So it would be no problem if bulls topped out here, but if they could see another candle or two, you know, get up to that falling wedge resistance, then come down and then pop it with some gusto and just go ahead and get the daily trend change in, like, I don't know, one candle. Maybe another day of cooling off, working for that trend change, and then get it and just go. Get it and go. Yeah, let's look at Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin dominance is not doing a lot the past 5 days. We're just going sideways. We know bigger picture. I'm liking the 2-week 12 EMA as our guide. Obviously, bulls in the crypto space in general, but specifically alt bulls, want to see Bitcoin dominance plummet and have that be an alt season. You know, like, this is where dreams are made in the crypto space when you get Bitcoin dominance doing that. But for now, we don't really have a ton of change. It's just chugging along. We got our weekly higher low set marginally off of the 12 EMA. And next step will be, if this breaks bear, you know, this could, Bitcoin dominance coming down could be all of those alts that are in tight ranges breaking. So a little tip of the, or shift of the probability needle would be if we can lose this daily higher low on Bitcoin dominance. That would be a point towards, all right, let's look for more alts to pop. So beyond that, though, I don't have a ton to say about Bitcoin dominance. I would anticipate a weekly lower high if bulls do keep control. And, you know, this chart, it can be a little funky sometimes, because when we were up at these highs, it was very clearly a weekly higher low set. Then the candles kind of shift around, and, you know, if we really enhance, we can see that it is, no, it's actually not set. Yeah, what a scam. I thought we had popped it by a skosh, so that is just defense there still. So no weekly higher low set yet. And yeah, that is that. All right, INJ BTC, another tightening coin. Yeah, INJ, it was a darling, but just, it was once we got this triple top rejection and roll back down, I cooled off on INJ big time. Y'all remember I was like, let's get this monthly higher low on the ratio chart and have INJ USD's tightening range break to new all-time highs, and it's just a pain in the butt, and it never happened. So I wouldn't say that this is tightening quite the same way as the others. I mean, I guess looking into the daily, it is. We got daily 12 EMA resistance. If bulls can get up and over that, it would show us a little something. But yeah, INJ just continues to be weak. I want to make sure that I'm not like trying to, you always want to make sure you're taking what the market's giving you, not what you want from the market. And I don't know, it's a fine daily EQ, and if it breaks bull, then we'll have a weekly bounce underway, which we never even got our weekly bounce underway. Most coins got their weekly bounces. Some are now confirming weekly uptrends, and INJ just continues to be a turd. But we are testing monthly 12 EMA, and if bulls defend that and get a monthly higher low set, it will come back onto the menu. But kind of what I was talking about earlier, it could just be nice to wait for bulls to show up. It'll save bandwidth and capital and frustration. All right, let's look at Matic. So Matic, what am I watching on Matic BTC? Is Matic BTC a 2-day 12 EMA rider? I know we're watching it, or no, it got up and over. No, that's not what we're watching. What are we watching on Matic BTC? I thought we had something. This is just daily 12 EMA rider, and it got up and over, but has just bled it back. It's not really what you want to see. You got bears trying to shape up a weekly lower high. And ultimately, big follow through after losing this support. So we'll look at Matic USD. We know that Matic BTC needs to confirm a weekly uptrend if it's really going to come back on the menu. Matic USD, we've got the quarterly tightening range. So there's reason to be looking at it for sure. High, low, lower high, higher low, lower high, and anything over 49 cents would be a higher low. But not really what bulls want to see. This was one that got a weekly uptrend, broke resistance, and then just bled it all back. So red flag. You know, when you break resistance, you got this tightening range, you break, and then high volume smack back down. Not great. It doesn't mean it's over for bulls, and you could view it as a double top. It's decently close, but daily stair step, got to break that to get the daily bounce underway. Got to get over 4-hour 12 EMA to get that daily bounce underway, but then we'll be looking for a daily lower high compared to 7778. All right, SUI. I looked at the SUI and SEIs in a minute. So weak, very weak, never got the weekly bounce underway. It's kind of in INJ category, which, you know, 2 previous blue sky bulls are now performing weak just as we see some rotation. But daily 12 EMA, got to get up and over that for bulls to prove anything, but there are not many coins down at their flush lows right now, so it just remains relatively weak. SEI, it's choppier than some of the other daily ranges. Maybe we can view it as a 2-day EQ. And bottom fish opportunity. Bulls really aren't showing a ton. They had one of the nicer initial moves off of the low, but then just bled it back again. So we are looking for a potential weekly higher low, but bulls got to get over daily 12 EMA if that's going to shape up. But at this point, I would anticipate a daily lower high compared to 58.71 unless bulls bring some volume. What's our monthly? We don't. So we are looking for a monthly higher low. We've got no real context to be playing off of other than bulls are defending this listing spike high. Draw a line across that. Yeah, bulls trying to defend that, and that, like, structurally, that's the only thing we're really working off of here. But daily EQ, nothing wrong with bottom fishing that. You know, I talk about having some imagination. Maybe you got a little more imagination than me. I'm not like bagging on SEI, but just, you know, if bulls had been able to maintain control after this, then it would probably be doing what like Pepe's doing. Like if we look at this move off of the lows and then compare that to Pepe, you know, that was the same time. And then Pepe was able to recover and keep the show on the road. SEI, not so much. And when you see one coin dealt a similar hand and one handles it really well and one handles it really poorly, for me, that kind of just turns me off a bit. All right, Danny Edwards liked the gold bashing. Yeah, I mean, I got to go to a different layout for this to talk about gold and how much time I've spent on this thing and how much I love it. You know, you can see I love gold. I love gold. But if I was not leveraged to the I need a better word for it. Leverage to the yahoos on it, then it wouldn't be great. This big time move to all-time highs is like 22%. And it took months. You can look at AIOZ in like 6 days, put in 60%. Or like Mara, CLSK, NVDA, Tesla. There's so many things to trade. But I obviously understand the fundamental drive to have some gold exposure. And like Dan's got gold. Dan's got GLD, and I don't think Dan's a fool, but it's in his IRA, and he's hoping to hold it for a decade. You know, I can get down with that. But if you're day trading gold, if you're day trading GLD, I don't know. But maybe you just got a ton of money, and you're like, I only need 0.2% because I'm trading with $10 million, and that's more than enough for me. But as a shrimp like myself, GLD day trading ain't gonna cut it. All right, Caesar already did Rune. If you go back to the beginning of the stream, oh, DP hooked it up. Yeah, Nightbot is nuking DP, and he's being helpful in chat. Hate to see it. Kermit wants to see Bitcoin Cash. Let's see what we got. Kind of in a world of its own, isn't it? So monthly consolidation underway. We're looking for a monthly higher low. We got the weekly bounce underway, holding 12 EMA, but bulls need to follow through with a daily uptrend from here. So daily tightening range, bear break, no follow through, right into a bounce. If we want to see weekly bounce follow through, got to get the daily uptrend by holding the lows at 436 and coming back up through 494.6. And if bulls do that, then I'd anticipate a weekly lower high compared to 719.5. And then the big question would be, can bears confirm a weekly downtrend to see deeper monthly consolidation, or can bulls bounce big enough on the weekly to keep the weekly uptrend intact? But this could certainly be a potential head and shoulders here. If a head and shoulders confirms, that's deeper monthly consolidation. We'll still be looking for a higher low, watching 12 EMA. But bulls obviously would love to not see that happen. But got to get a daily uptrend as step one. What up, Downster? Howdy, howdy. Yeah, I'll always look at whatever coin you want, my friend. Ton USDT. I was going to say like ton U. It's throwing me off. Ton coin. What do we want to look at it on? We'll do Bybit. I think that's what you're trading on. That would be my guess at least. So ton USDT, a blue sky bull. And actually, let me just add this to the blue sky list. Give me a moment. My trading view is kind of bogging down. So we got a name up in proximity of blue skies. We have a weekly higher low set off the 12 EMA, as clean as you could ask for it. Let's see if that was like a 4-hour oversold back burner. Nope, it wasn't. That was the first 4-hour oversold back burner. Decent bounce, but didn't follow through. But it was 4-hour oversold in conjunction with the weekly 12 EMA. Ended up getting it done, and now bulls are proving follow through with the daily uptrend, and you love to see it. So daily higher low support is 50.60. As far as resistance, there's very little up until all-time highs. We got 732, and then all-time highs 770. Lots of room for a 4-hour higher low next consolidation, and perhaps an hourly 12 EMA rider. Yep, hourly 12 EMA rider. Not the cleanest, but we can use that as a guide for the strength of the 4-hour move. Lose hourly 12 EMA, we'll look for 4-hour consolidation. And then anything over 568 would be a higher low, and certainly positioned well if we see any strength come into Bitcoin. Yeah, Danny Edwards, I'm the same thing, man. I actually drilled the gold weekly higher low. I'm a gold bull for sure. I mean, it's a blue sky name. It's a blue sky name. How can you not be a bull there? But I drilled this this wedge play essentially. If you go on my Twitter, it's all mapped out there. It was posted there live, and then I got a lucky. I ended up selling half up here, or half of what I had. I got risk free quick, and then I sold another chunk of that up here. I got the luckiest reload while I was sleeping 2 nights ago at 23.11.8. in the lows 23.11.4, so feel pretty jazzed about that. I was thinking it wasn't looking good a couple days ago, but we finally got bulls following through here. But yeah, if you're not following me on Twitter, give me a Twitter follow. Post stuff there, post cool life adventure stuff, and yeah, I'm new to Twitter, and I'm actually enjoying it. I've been anti-social media for well over a decade. I've just been completely off the grid, zero social media. But enough people asked if I have a Twitter that I was like, all right, maybe I'll do that and kind of have a place to, in these streams and in the Chart Guys Slack room. I'm Chart Guys Jungle Funk. There's rules that I got to follow. There's things I can say and cannot say, but on Twitter, I can do whatever I want, and that's kind of freeing. So I've been enjoying it. All right, that's all I've got. We got 86 people and 33 likes. If you can hit the like button, Dan won't fire me, and I'd appreciate that. If you can't hit the like button, I understand. Sometimes I don't have fingers either. If you're not subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing. Lots of free, great information on there to help learn how to trade. And let's see if Bitcoin bulls can do it. 4-hour uptrend, step 1, daily uptrend, step 2. And that is that. Let's see, AA Dill, do we have to go through all the alts to find leading market bull and bear indicator? No, you can just sort the watch list by percentage. So that's like the very easy way to do it. And on TradingView, if you click on something, you can just hit space and it just clicks you to the next chart. So it might look psycho flipping through these like this, and it definitely takes a little more experience to like flip to one and then be like, ooh, this is a viable setup if we get over that. But that's a quick way to do it. But I mean, if you're trying to be a professional trader, like in 2021 when the crypto space was my main shtick, and like in 2021 I stopped trading futures, I stopped trading stocks, I was only trading crypto, and yeah, I went through every name in the watch list every day. Because if you want to be a professional, you have to do what professionals do. But right now my main shtick is index and commodities futures. So I don't go through the crypto watch lists every day. But yeah, I mean, if you're a crypto main, you should enjoy going through those watch lists every day. All right. Thank you, Rob, for the pleads for my continued contractual agreements with the Chart Guys. Farewell, everybody. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Be posting updates on Twitter throughout the weekend as Bitcoin bulls try to shape up a daily higher low and then hopeful daily trend change. That's all I've got. Farewell, and we will see you Monday.